Underlying love, beneath the surface it lies, in the whispers of secrets and unspoken ties, caught between the heart's gentle tug and the dance of romance, in the arms of love.
You are listening to Bradley Barkhurst's Underlying Love, a Worthington, Ohio mystery.
Hi, my name is Bradley Barkhurst, and this is the story of Underlying Love, a Worthington, Ohio mystery, the making of. I had taken a course online in 2023 through MIT entitled AI and Business, and I really enjoyed taking the class. I got a little understanding of how AI works. And so I really wanted to create a product after my training, and I would come up with an idea, and then I would see that the product already existed. So I really wanted to come up with a product unique that no one else had. And so then I saw a YouTube video about using AI to write, not just write something short, a short story or something like that, but an entire novel. And I thought, well, that's intriguing. And so that's what I tried. I tried writing something, and I was like, wow, this is not bad. So then I thought, well, let's try making a novel. And I wanted something historical. I wanted a mystery. And I was trying to decide where it should take place. And then I thought, well, where would be a perfect historical place but Worthington, Ohio, because there is so much history in Worthington. And so as I was doing it, I remember a story I heard long ago about a British journalist, British male writer, who wrote a romance novel, and it became a big hit. I just got such a great laugh out of that because he disguised his name as a female author and sold a lot of books. And I thought, well, you know what? We've got the mystery thing going on. It would be fun to do a romance with emotional highs and lows and have it set in Worthington. And I didn't want the story to happen during World War II because I thought it might take away from the story. But I felt that I wanted it in the 1940s, and I wanted it right after the Great Depression. So I had it in the fall of 1941. And to do some research on it, I wanted this to be as real as possible. And even though the characters and the story is fictional, I wanted to have a sense of what Worthington was like at that specific time in the 1940s. And so what I did to start the research is Google Worthington, Ohio, 1941. And that's where I found Don O'Brien's photographs that he took of Worthington in the 1940s when he was a high school student in 1941. And it was so neat to see because it was like this place that I knew, but it was someplace I didn't know. And I did a lot of studying of the photos to get an idea of what was around at that time. And it really made that time period come alive to me. And it made me even more excited to write the story. So from Don's photographs, I saw the Lady Alice Beauty Salon. I was like, well, that's got to be in the story. And I saw the red and white general store. It's like, I got to write about that. And of course, the home market, which I remember was still there in the 1980s as a kid, and Potter Lumber, I remember. So I wanted to have all those unique Worthington businesses still in the novel. And so I used those as my inspirations. And I did contact the Worthington Historical Society, and they were gracious enough to let me come over for a morning and go through some of the newspapers, and they gave me some ideas in trying to get a layout of what the village, because it was a village in 1941, how the businesses were laid out on High Street. And honestly, the Historical Society didn't have a lot of information at that specific time, and it was really Don's photos that gave a clue of what was around. And one thing that was neat is that I'm sure as he took these photos as a kid, he had no idea that, decades later, somebody would find them on this thing called the internet and write a story using those photos as inspiration. And we all walk through our lives, a day of our life, walking around and doing our thing, and we forget that we are in a specific moment of time, and eventually that time goes away. And what I think so neat is Don's photographs basically are a time capsule that captured that moment of time when he was alive. And it's almost like going back in time, and a magical thing to be able to bring some of that stuff back with high-tech AI writing tools. So one of the things about writing with AI tools is, if you think that you're just going to press a button and out comes a novel, that's not exactly the case. I would describe it as working with a teammate. If you had to sit down and write a story with character C-3PO from Star Wars, you would ask, what are some ideas? What are some characters, possible plot lines, an outline, and go from there and get the suggestions. And sometimes the suggestions are great, sometimes they're not, and you have to kind of pull it back and steer it the way you want it to go, and work with it. It's like a collaboration, and people could look down at using AI as a writing tool, but I think it's great, because people that are on the fence of writing a novel, I would suggest getting started writing with an AI tool for assistance and see what you can come up with, even if it's just for creative assistance with coming out with an outline or actually writing dialogue, because it's, like I said, it's a collaboration, and it's interesting to see what you can come up with the AI. And I remember the MIT class that's saying it would describe AI as like superhuman powers almost, because it's like the human working in combination with the AI to leverage the AI to see what you can do together. One of the books that changed my life and really took my life and thinking to a new level was a book called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. And basically it's a simple principle of, you have an idea and you keep building from it. So think of compounding interest. You have money, you put it in the bank, and then money keeps on building from it. So the compound effect you can basically take in your life and apply it to whatever you want. And so in my case, it was coming up with a story and then building from that and building characters and then building merchandise, creative merchandise, and coming up what are all the different things that I can create based on my initial idea and with the help of using AI. So I did that, and I did it in a way that books are not typically known to be doing, like making coffee mugs and puzzles and products, and even a soundtrack for the book. And what was neat was, as I was writing the novel, more and more tools would come out, AI tools that I could then apply. So I wanted to write the novel, but then I saw that you could have AI narrate your novel. And then I saw that AI could be used to narrate all the different characters in your novel. And then I saw that you could use AI to create music. So I thought about all these. I had this initial idea, and then using the compound effect, I kept on building on the idea with the different AI tools. And I thought, how cool would it be to have all the characters have their own voices and talk to one another, and then have music in the background, and also music that interacts with the story. So using the AI tools, I came up with that, as well as the graphics. And it was a lot of fun, and it really was really cool to see when it came together, and it made the story really come to life, and you definitely could get a sense of being back in Worthington at that time. And I intermixed some of my sounds, went out and recorded the church bells in Worthington, and threw some of that in that would simply be unique to Worthington. So I hope you enjoy the story. Watch the YouTube videos. It's great when you're driving to work or getting ready to go to bed. Also, read the book. Check out some of the merch at the Etsy shop. And I hope you really enjoy. Thank you.